Ever walk into the gym, see a guy rocking that perfect horseshoe triceps shape, and think, what the hell is he doing that I'm not? The arms look full from every angle. The sleeve hugs the upper arm just right. And when they flex, it's like the muscle pops out of nowhere. Then you look at your own progress. Months, maybe years of hitting the gym. Bench press, pushdowns, dips. You've put in the work. You've felt the burn. But every time you check in the mirror, your triceps still look average. Flat from the side. No real depth. No thickness. And here's the kicker. It's not because you're not training hard enough. It's because you're making small, silent mistakes in your workouts that are straight up killing your gains before they even have a chance to happen. Mistakes that most lifters don't even know they're making. Today, we're going deep into the 7 biggest triceps growth killers that are holding you back. I'm talking about the kind of fixes that, once you apply them, can completely change how your arms look and how they feel in just a few weeks. And I'm not just giving you theory. By the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step triceps workout plan that hits every head of the muscle in the right order with the right techniques so you can finally see that back of the arm thickness you've been chasing. If this is already sounding a little too familiar, hit that subscribe button. Because what's coming next might just change the way you train forever. Reason 1. You're living on half reps, which means half the stimulus. Here's where most people screw it up. They load the bar or the cable stack until it feels impressive, start banging out reps, and cut every single one short. Half reps mean half the stimulus. If your elbow never reaches full extension and full flexion, huge portions of your triceps never even get worked. Think about it. Your triceps operate through a range that changes which head is working the hardest. When your elbow is bent deep, the long head is stretched like a pulled rubber band, storing power. When your elbow is fully locked out, the lateral and medial heads kick in to finish the job. If you skip either end of that motion, you're leaving a massive amount of growth potential untouched. It's like watching only the middle of a movie and expecting to understand the ending. You miss the setup, you miss the payoff, and in training terms, you miss the muscle growth you're chasing. The fix is simple, but your ego won't like it. Lighten the weight, slow down, and own every inch of the movement. On rope pushdowns, let the rope travel high enough to feel that deep stretch in the back of the arm. Then press down until your elbows lock without shrugging or swinging. On skull crushers, lower the weight behind your head until the stretch almost makes you want to quit. Then drive it back up to a clean, controlled lockout. Here's a cue that works like magic. Stretch at the top, squeeze through the press, and freeze at the lockout for a full second. If you can't hold it, the weight is too heavy. If you can hold it, your triceps will know you mean business. Give the muscle the full story every set, and it will finally have a reason to grow, not just get pumped for a few minutes. Reason 2. You're ignoring the eccentric phase. Most lifters think muscle growth happens when they lift the weight. That's only half the truth. The other half, the part most people rush through, is when you're lowering the weight back down. That's the eccentric phase, and it's pure gold for building size. Here's the deal. During the eccentric phase, your muscles can handle more force than they can when lifting. That means more tension, more microscopic damage to the muscle fibers, and more signal for your body to rebuild those fibers bigger and stronger. When you just let the weight drop, you throw all of that away. Picture this. 2 guys doing rope pushdowns. One slams it down and lets it shoot back up in half a second. The other drives it down, then slowly, like molasses, lets the rope rise for a count of 2 or 3, fighting the weight the whole way. Guess which one is sending the grow signal to their triceps? The fix is straightforward. Control the descent. If it takes you 1 second to press, take at least 2 seconds to lower. Feel the stretch building in the back of your arm and resist the weight. Don't let it win. Do this on every triceps move, pushdowns, skull crushers, close grip bench, and you'll feel a burn you can't fake. One of my favorite coaching cues is earn the return. You work to move that weight up. Now prove you can control it on the way down. That's where the real growth happens. Reason 3. You're treating the triceps like one simple muscle. Here's a mistake that almost guarantees you'll have flat arms forever. Training your triceps like it's just one lump of muscle. It's not. The word triceps literally means 3 heads: the long head, the lateral head, and the medial head. And each one has its own role in how your arm looks and performs. The long head is the biggest, running along the back of your arm. It gives you that thick, meaty look from behind, and even helps with overhead pressing strength. The lateral head is the one you see from the side when your arm is flexed, the famous horseshoe, and the medial head sits deeper, giving overall density and helping with elbow stability. Here's the kicker. Each head responds differently, depending on elbow position. When your arms are overhead, like in an overhead extension, the long head is stretched and takes the lead. When your elbows are pinned to your sides, like in a pushdown, the lateral and medial heads work harder. If you never switch arm positions, you're leaving entire portions of your triceps undertrained. Think of it like trying to build a house but only ever hammering one wall. The rest stays unfinished, and the final product looks incomplete. Because it is. The fix? Cover all angles. Use at least one overhead movement to blast the long head. One movement with elbows close to the body for the lateral and medial heads, and one compound press to tie it all together. When you train each head properly, your arms don't just get bigger, they look bigger from every angle. Reason 4. You're always saving triceps for the end of your workout. Let's be real. How many times have you trained chest and triceps on the same day and left all the triceps work for last? By the time you get there, your arms are already tired from pressing, your energy is low, and your focus is shot. That's like trying to sprint after running a marathon. You're not bringing your best. Here's the problem. The triceps make up about 2/3 of your upper arm size. Yes, you heard that right. That means if you want arms that turn heads, triceps should be a top priority, not an afterthought. When you train them at the end of a heavy chest or shoulder session, they've already been working in the background, stabilizing and assisting in every press you've done. By the time you get to your direct triceps exercises, they're pre-fatigued, so you can't lift as heavy, keep perfect form, or push close to failure. The result? Slow, stubborn growth. The fix is simple but powerful. Either dedicate a separate day to arm training or flip the order sometimes. If you train chest and triceps together, start with triceps 1 week and chest the next. That way, your arms get to work fresh at least half the time, and you can attack them with full strength and focus. I've seen lifters break plateaus they'd had for years just by giving triceps first dibs in the workout. You'll be surprised how much heavier you can go, and how quickly they start to fill out. Reason 5. You're letting your elbows wander. Your elbows are like the hinges on a door. If they start drifting around, the whole movement falls apart. But walk into any gym and you'll see it. People doing pushdowns with elbows sliding forward and back, or overhead extensions with elbows flaring out like wings. When that happens, the tension leaves your triceps and gets dumped into your shoulders, chest, or even your back. The triceps' main job is simple: Straighten the arm by extending the elbow. If the elbow itself is moving all over the place, you're changing the angle, shifting the load, and robbing your triceps of the direct stimulus they need. Here's a visual for you. Imagine your elbows are glued in place. On pushdowns, keep them tight against your ribs from start to finish. On skull crushers or overhead extensions, keep them pointing straight up to the ceiling, not drifting forward or out to the sides. Every rep should feel like the elbow is a fixed pivot, and the forearm is the only thing moving. The fix? Lower the weight until you can keep perfect elbow position for every single rep. It might bruise your ego at first, but it will force the triceps to do 100% of the work. And that's exactly what you want. If you master this discipline, every rep becomes laser-focused on the muscle you're trying to grow. And in the long run, that beats sloppy heavy lifting every single time. Reason 6. You're overloading or undertraining the volume and frequency. When it comes to triceps training, most people live at one of two extremes. Either they hit the muscle with an insane number of sets in a single day, thinking more is better, or they toss in a couple of quick sets after chest and call it done. Both approaches leave gains on the table. Here's why. If you cram all your triceps work into one marathon session, your best lifts happen in the first few sets. After that, fatigue creeps in, your reps get sloppy, and the last half of the workout is basically survival mode. On the flip side, if you only do a few half-hearted sets once a week, you're not giving the muscle enough total stimulus to force growth. The sweet spot is smarter, not harder. Spread the work across the week. Training triceps twice a week, with at least 2 or 3 days between sessions, lets you hit them fresh, keep your intensity high, and double the opportunities to trigger muscle protein synthesis. That's the process that repairs and grows muscle tissue after you train. For most lifters, 6 to 9 quality sets per session is plenty, using 2 to 3 different exercises that hit the muscle from different angles. That's enough to push progress without burning you out or wrecking recovery. It's not about chasing exhaustion. It's about consistently delivering a stimulus your body can adapt to. When you get the balance right, the size comes faster than you think. Reason 7. You're not eating enough to actually grow. You can train perfectly, pick all the right exercises, and push hard every session. But if your diet isn't giving your body the raw materials it needs, your triceps will never grow. Muscle growth is an anabolic process, which means it requires extra energy. If you're not in a slight calorie surplus, you're basically trying to build a bigger house without enough bricks. Here's the truth. Your body will prioritize survival first. If you're eating just enough to maintain your weight, or worse, eating less, your body has no reason to spend energy building new muscle tissue. That's why so many people train for years without seeing any real changes in arm size. The fix is to aim for a small, controlled calorie surplus. That means eating about 300 to 500 calories more than your maintenance level each day. But don't just grab fast food and hope for the best. The quality of those calories matters just as much as the quantity. Prioritize lean protein sources like chicken, fish, eggs, dairy, or plant-based options. Add in complex carbs such as rice, oats, sweet potatoes, and fruit to fuel your workouts and recovery. And don't skip healthy fats from foods like avocado, olive oil, nuts, and salmon. These support hormone production, including testosterone, which plays a huge role in building muscle. Think of it this way. Your training is the blueprint, but your nutrition is the construction crew. If you don't feed that crew properly, the building never gets finished. The complete triceps workout. Reordered and optimized. Most people think the order of exercises doesn't matter. But when it comes to arm growth, it's everything. If you hit the most demanding lifts when your triceps are already tired, you lose the chance to load them heavy and with perfect form. That's why this workout is designed in a specific sequence, to make sure every set hits with maximum impact. We start with a compound press to take advantage of your fresh energy reserves and stimulate the triceps with the heaviest load they'll handle that day. Then we move into a stretch position exercise that targets the long head in its most vulnerable, growth-triggering position. Finally, we finish with an isolation move in the shortened position to squeeze every last bit of juice from the muscle. It's not about doing more. It's about hitting each head of the triceps in the right way, in the right order, and leaving the gym knowing there's nothing left in the tank. Run this workout twice a week with at least 2 days between sessions, and your arms won't just get bigger. They'll look bigger from every angle. Exercise 1. Close grip bench press. We open the workout with the close grip bench press because it's the heaviest, most demanding movement of the session. By starting here, you can push real weight while your triceps are fresh, getting the biggest strength and size payoff right out of the gate. Grip the bar just inside shoulder width, close enough to target the triceps, but not so close that it puts unnecessary stress on your wrists. Lower the bar under control to the mid-chest, keeping your elbows tucked tight to your sides the whole way down. Then press back up, locking out hard at the top without letting your elbows flare. This move is unmatched for building thickness in the lower portion of the triceps, near the elbow joint, the area that makes your arms look powerful even when relaxed. Do 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps, resting 2 to 3 minutes between sets to keep your strength high. Exercise 2. Overhead dumbbell extension. After the heavy press, we shift to a movement that fully stretches the long head of the triceps, the part that adds serious length and thickness to the back of your arm. The overhead dumbbell extension, also known as the French press, is perfect for this. You can use one dumbbell held with both hands or go unilateral with one dumbbell per arm to correct any imbalances. The key is keeping your elbows pointing straight up to the ceiling. Lower the weight slowly behind your head until you feel that deep stretch in the back of your arm. Then press it back to the start in a smooth, controlled motion. Training the muscle in this fully stretched position is one of the most powerful triggers for growth, especially in the long head. Aim for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps and make the eccentric phase, the lowering part, last at least 2 seconds on every rep. Exercise 3. Rope pushdown. We finish with the rope pushdown to completely burn out the triceps in their shortened position. By the time you get here, the muscle is already fatigued from the press and the stretch work, which means every rep now digs even deeper into the fibers. Stand with your elbows pinned tightly to your sides and grab the rope attachment with a neutral grip. Press the rope down until your arms are fully extended. Then separate your hands at the bottom for an extra squeeze. Hold that contraction for a brief pause before letting the rope come back up slowly, at least 2 seconds, to keep tension on the triceps the whole time. This move hits the lateral and medial heads hard, giving your arms that horseshoe shape when flexed. Go for 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, resting 60 to 90 seconds between sets to keep the burn high. So here's the truth. If your triceps haven't been growing, it's not because you're cursed with bad genetics. It's because, like most lifters, you've been making small mistakes that silently kill your progress. Now you know the 7 biggest growth killers, from cutting your range of motion short, to skipping the eccentric phase, to ignoring the different heads of the muscle. And you've got a full, optimized workout to fix them. The next move is on you. Apply what we talked about today. Train with purpose and feed your body enough to grow. Do that, and in a few weeks, your sleeves will start feeling tighter, your arms will look fuller, and the mirror will finally show the progress you've been chasing. What's the one thing you're going to change in your triceps training after this? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this video gave you even one aha moment, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let's keep building this together. Because the only thing better than making progress is knowing exactly how you did it.